Simplified Chaos, episode 122.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hey, wonderful friends. Welcome to Simplified Chaos. This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I am joined by my co-host and husband, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks? We hope you all are having a wonderful week. We are back to a regular weekly schedule, I hope. I think we're good.
What does that mean?
I don't know. We've had a couple of every other week, so I think we're back on pace here.
With the podcast, you mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
What are we talking about today, Jilly?
Today we're diving into just unrushing summer.
Yeah. We are slowing things down here at the Kaselniak household. It's feeling good.
Trying real hard, and you're right. It does feel really real cozy.
But before we get into that, as always, we love to show a little gratitude. So, Jilly, what are you grateful for this week?
I'm grateful for nachos.
Yeah, they were banging ass nachos tonight.
I was feeling kind of like off today at one point, and I was just preparing nachos and really taking my time. It's definitely, I was telling you, there's an art to making really good nachos.
Oh, definitely.
Spreading the chips out
across the tray,
across the tray, not overlapping them, and making sure that every chip gets cheese and beans and seasoning. It's very cathartic and therapeutic just putting together a plate of nachos, and then after baking them and then eating them with you guys, it was just, I felt a lot better.
Yeah, no, they were delicious, magical, life-changing nachos.
Fucking nachos.
They were so damn good.
Food heals.
Crushed it. Absolutely.
What about you? What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for meeting all of our neighbors and just hearing their stories and just really diving in and getting to know people. And I think that kind of goes into slowing down. I feel like sometimes we're in such a rush to do whatever it is that we're doing that we might not spend that extra time meeting new people or talking with our neighbors. And I feel like I've gotten to know quite a lot of people in the last 2 weeks and really just get a good idea of who they are, what they value. And I'm just really excited to continue building these relationships as we, I guess embed ourselves more into this community here. So it's been really cool just talking with a lot of just random people. And I think we're doing it more often and more consciously just because we don't know anybody in this area. So I think it makes us more open to just kind of reaching out and saying, hey, and then connecting small dots here and there and figuring out that a neighbor that we live next to works with somebody we just met at the river today. It's just really been interesting. So yeah, I think that kind of ties in with what we're talking about.
Absolutely. And
but definitely grateful for these new folks that were around.
Yeah, I remember you were outside for quite a while yesterday, and I was like, he was watering grass, but he's been out there for quite some time. And you came in and were telling me how you met. We're just having a really good conversation with our neighbor, and I think already you are a really good listener. You've always been really good. That's why I love you so much, is because you pay attention to actually what I say.
What'd you say? Huh? I'm sorry, I blacked out for 5 minutes.
But no, I think you're definitely onto something with the whole, I think we're definitely kind of more motivated to reach out to people because this area is new, but also I think it helps having a toddler, when she kind of connects and reaches out to other kids or things and people are commenting. It's a really nice segue and be like, hey,
she's a great conversation starter.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think it's definitely what I think we're going to be diving into, just about slowing things down. And I kind of had this reflection as I was trying to just jot down my thoughts about where I saw this episode going. And I kind of think it can be really difficult when you move someplace new and exciting to kind of become addicted to the new, and you want to dive into everything and figure it
certainly.
all out, and talk about it, share about it, just tell everybody like, oh my God, this place is so exciting because of this, and this. And I'm finding that I think I need to like slow it down, because not only have I been really craving all the new places and parks, and like, I'll do this park today and another park tomorrow. I'm like, I gotta slow the fuck down as well. Like, this place is gonna be home for quite some time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have time to explore it. And I think instead of making this overall agenda to do and figure out all the new, it's like, I gotta remind myself to slow down and stop being so busy and just try to be more present and flow with Lucille and just take my time.
Well, it's funny because like she's like, I want to go to a new park. Like, so she's open for exploring too. But I get what you're saying. Like, you really want to kind of get to know the area, and like, we went to Pleasant Grove Park today, and that's a huge park. There are so many trails, and we've been there to the playground, and you've done a little exploring on the disc golf course, but like, we haven't really had a chance to like figure out all that it has to offer us. I know that the county fair will be there later this year, but yeah, I mean, there's just so much to discover within that area. But there are also like so many different parks around here, and we went to a different one on Friday and talked to a lot of the locals. A lot of people were putting tubes in and kayaks in at that part of the river. So we were just trying to figure out, hey, where's that? And like, of course, the first thing is like, yeah, we need to go out and buy tubes, or we need to go out and buy a kayak. And it's like, no, we don't have to do that right away. We can, kind of find the places that we want to potentially do that. But, we're still open for exploring right now. But I think it's like finding the places that we really like and just really taking our time and getting to know it.
I think one of the tools that's kind of helping me do that is just writing it down. Like, in my notes, I'm writing down each park, and I'm trying to write a little description about like what it felt like, what were the amenities, things that I really cherished about that area, and try to be personable with it. And I'm not sure if anybody, like, if that's something I should share on my blog or not. Like, this is more just to help me slow down and to really like savor all the places we've been going. And I think that park we went to today is a great example of not visiting so shallowly and doing it, but really like going there multiple times and really exploring all of what that park has to offer. Because that park not only has a playground, but it has a disc golf course. Plus, it has a dog beach / kid beach, and it has hiking trails. Like, it has
athletic fields,
so much
dirt bike, mountain biking trails. Like, it's crazy. Like, I looked at the map today. It was like, holy shit, there's so much to do here, and it's 10 minutes from our house.
So it's a weird balance. Do I skim the surface with like all of these things, or do I like really take my time, slow down, do one at a time, maybe revisit it and really get a good understanding of like what I like about it, so I can share it with other people, or when we have guests coming over and we can take them there. So I'm leaning more to the latter. The latter means the second one, right?
Yeah.
I don't use that
term
a lot.
The former and the latter.
You use it all the time, and I'm like, the ladder is...
Why does he keep talking about this ladder? What the shit?
But yeah, it's... So just diving deeper, slowing things down, and not necessarily with just exploration, but also with putting our house together, so to speak. Like, you've been really helping me.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, you've wanted to like just basically get it all up, and I get it. Like, we came from a place that you've lived in for 30 plus years, and it was a home. Like, it had your style, your decorations, your paint. We had just redone the kitchen. Like, it was exactly like what you want it to be. And now we're here with this fresh slate after having experienced that for 30 years. And so it's just like, you want to get it all done and up and to where but I think part of it is, and we've always talked about this, is like the process, and it's just like the research that we're doing, and making sure that it's a right decision. Like, ceiling fans was a freaking nightmare for me. I've got buyer's fatigue because there's just so many out there, and it's like, am I making the right choice? Is this the right thing? And I didn't want to get something from Home Depot. Like, we wanted something stylish and something that's gonna last for a long time and circulate air. Like, that's the thing. Like, some fans are really piss poor at circulating air. So like, just reading a ton of reviews, and it's just like, man, some of these fans are good. And I guess it's all about, thousands of fans are sold, and yeah, every couple of them are going to crap out and not be well. But I mean, it was just crazy just how kind of exhausting that process is. And now we're getting ready to do the same thing with like blinds and stuff like that. But I'm glad that we're not just like settling for like the first thing that comes up, and that we're really being thoughtful about what's going on our ceiling, what's going in our windows, how we're setting up the house, and what's our budget too. I mean, that's a huge part of it. And we came into this house, we made some good money on our last house, but we want to be able to invest that into something else a little bit later down the road. So we're like, hey, we're sticking with our budget. Like, this is all we want to do. We need to buy all this stuff. We want a patio so that we can enjoy our outdoor space. This is what we're going to spend on that. So, it's really forcing us, I think, because we've set a budget, to slow down, consider multiple different avenues, especially with like the patio. Like, I'm not going to settle for like the first people that I talk to. Like, I want to talk to a bunch of other people, get references, and kind of figure that out. So, because that's a space that we want it to be ours for a long time, and we want to get it right. So I like the idea of us just being able to slow down and figure out what it is that we want to do. And yeah, like you said, we're going to be here for a while. So we got time to do that stuff. Slow down, Jilly.
I know. And just hearing it come from you, and that's like a really, I think, good example of enjoying the process. Like, you trying to find fans on your own was probably like painstaking, like you trying to figure that out. But it was actually really cool yesterday. Like, you asked me, like, do you want to watch a movie? Because Lucille ridiculously fell asleep at 5:45 yesterday on the way home from a winery, and she felt like she did not wake back up. So we're kind of like, all right, we've got some time, a lot of extra time than we normally have. And you're like, do we want to watch a movie? And then part of me was like, well, we started talking about the fans, and we just sat on the couch and we were researching fans together. And it was actually really fun doing it together versus just one person having to do all of that heavy work and like try to figure out, all right, pricing, quality. So I didn't tell you that, but I really enjoyed like looking at fans with you and making those decisions and kind of having that conversation, because you were like, I like these, and I'm like, is it in budget? And you're like, not.
It was slightly over budget.
Slightly over. So it was just fun.
We came in under budget with what we decided on, which is good, because that can be reallocated somewhere else.
Yeah, so it was actually, like you said, the process was really fun, taking our time, and instead of just turning on a movie, like, which is nice, it was just nice, like, having a conversation. I'm like, all right, well, talking about like the color of the fans, like little things that I really enjoyed about just helping make our house more of a home.
Exactly. And I'm just happy to get some air circulating in here very soon.
I will say we have a little fan in here that my dad had in his bedroom when we had a guest room in our old house, and then Lucille has her little stroller fan that we've been using in her room, and we've been making it work. And it's doing okay, but yeah, I am very excited to get some ceiling fans in our house and to just be able to hit a switch and get some air, like opening up the windows and being able to feel the air throughout the whole house.
Yeah. But it's been nice also just kind of identifying, what it is we want to do with the house, and, what the timeline is. And I think there's going to be, and it's funny too, like, we want to get shelves up just because we have books and stuff we want to, put out and make available. Like, there's certain things that we're prioritizing. The one thing that we're not prioritizing, which I think many of you might find surprising, knowing Jill's love for food, is that we are not prioritizing a kitchen table right now.
No. Are you kind of?
I'm just, surprised? I don't know, a little bit, but maybe not really, just because we've had the island as our kitchen table, and we had a dining room in our old house, and we all intentions to use it to like sit down for family dinner, but our family dinner was always around the island, and that seems to be the same thing we're doing here, which is great, because I mean, Lucille is fantastic on top of stools. Like, can't remember the last time she fell off of one, but it's just kind of what we've been used to, and so like, we're not in a hurry to get the table. I think we will eventually get one. Obviously, if we have guests, we'll want them to sit somewhere.
I mean, we're gonna have chairs.
And we'll have an outdoor table too. So
I like that our norm is eating at the island. I love that the island serves not only as a space for preparing food, but I love that it doubles as a place where we congregate, we have conversation, we can sip cocktails, we can eat and prepare and cook all in the same space. Like, I love that has become our norm, and it was very unintentional. Like we said, I remember as a child, always, we're going to sit down as a family and have dinner. And I'm kind of like, let's fucking make the island our norm of like communing like there and eating and preparing food and having conversation. Like, it's just been so magical.
I think it's easy too with one kid. Like, you know, my mom trying to get 3 boys around an island would have been
I have no
a
idea.
nightmare.
No
you
idea
know,
what that would
a
look
kitchen
like.
table suited us very well. But
Yeah.
no, I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, it is very easy. It is kind of cool preparing the food right there, and then, you know, just turning around and eating. Like, I'm thinking of like pizza nights in particular, because it's all, and nacho night.
Yeah.
And Lucille's gets to sit there and watch all that stuff
yeah.
happen. And, you know, if she wants to participate, she can, you know. So, yeah, I think right now that's working for us. So, yeah, it may seem weird that we wouldn't have a kitchen table and it's just a big open space right now.
I fucking love it.
But we've also kind of repurposed it into Lucille's kitchen.
Yes. It's so dang cute. Yeah, Nick's parents had got us this secondhand little kitchen for Lucille, and we put it against the wall where, you know, normally you might see a kitchen table there. Like, that's how the model homes were presented.
Right.
And I love that, like, when I'm in the kitchen, like, she's in her kitchen and she's making stuff and she's making coffee. Like, I love that space is right there and I can see it in real time, and she's imitating me and modeling what we do and say, and it's so dang sweet to watch. And
it is.
Yeah, so I am in no hurry just to get a kitchen table because that's what people do. I mean, you know me, I'm just kind of like, if we don't use it and it's not like going to be used all the time, it's like, I don't want it to just sit there. It could be a beautiful table, but right now it's like the island just serves a great purpose for all those things. And it could change, but for right now, it's like, I really enjoy having that space for Lucille to have space to move and run, and if she wants to move her trampoline over there, she can, because, you know, I did want more seating in our living room just for when we have guests over, so it's not just the couch, it's like we have people across from us that can sit and chat. So I think that would be a great option for leaving that space for Lucille to, like, to have her trampoline there if she wants to, like, move and run, and for us to play games like we were playing today, like just throwing her swimmies around. Like, I really enjoyed the space and not just rushing to do things because we feel like you have to furnish a house really fast. And I even said that moving, and now I find myself like needing that reminder all the time, and you have helped so much with that.
Let's kind of go back to another space that, you know, we would love to have done yesterday, but, you know, the outdoor patio. We've did something this weekend. We had an umbrella that we had at our last patio. It's one of those, I guess, is it an arm umbrella where, you know, it's on a pedestal and it kind of swings out. But we were like, it's been in the garage, you know, waiting for a patio, and we were like, let's just put that out there. And then we went to Walmart and got 2 like fold out chairs that, you know, I was like, we could have gotten one of those, what are those chairs?
Adirondack?
Yeah, the Adirondack chairs, you know, just one of the plastic ones. I was like, well, let's get something that we could potentially take to, like, you know, on vacation to the beach or something like that, a fold out chair for now. Or camping, you know, even, and let's just put that out there. Let's get the umbrella out there, and we, you know, we can sit outside and kind of pretend there's a patio there. You know, the next thing is a grill. You know, I'd like to get that sooner or later just because I want to cook on it, but we can always store that in the garage until the patio is there. So, like, again, we're trying to find creative ways to, I guess, replace some of the things that we don't have yet, and then that way, again, we can still take our time and slow things down and still kind of enjoy what we're used to back, you know, at our old place.
And I think that's why I was a little frustrated. I'm like, man, Nick, can we just find a business to like put a patio in?
Yeah,
like,
you know me, I'm not going to just find a business.
And I'm glad that you give me that pushback, because that was what forced us to have the conversation. We're like, well, we can still enjoy our outdoor without having a patio. So like, let's find a way. And I was like, all right, can we get the umbrella out there? Like, I want to make it welcoming now, so that way I can go out there and like have some wine or just, you know, sip a cocktail and just, or read or whatever, and just chill back out there with Lucille. And we had this amazing discovery when we were in Lowe's today. How about like we could really put an epic slip and slide on our backyard, because we have a little hill, and I'm like, oh fuck, that would be pretty epic.
Yeah, it would. I think as long as they are, it would kind of slope down and then slope up. So at the end, it would be a nice big splash into that little pool. If she gets enough speed, we'll see.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I just want to keep thanking you, Nick, for giving me the pushback. And it's like one of those things where like I know this is what I wanted, but I constantly need that reminder because I'm in the space and because I have time. It's like I want to do this and this and this, and Nick and I have had just time to like look at decorations and have those discussions. Like, do we want the same pictures in our house? Do we want that? And I'm trying to be more deliberate about like not filling up all the walls because I do enjoy some empty walls in the open space, and I think it makes the house feel bigger. Yeah. And so it's like trying to figure out how to make it a home, but knowing that there's going to be a lot of things that aren't in this home that were in our last home, as far as like walls and pictures. Like right now we're debating like our wedding picture, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want it up. So it's a lot of conversations of just figuring things out. And I know we can change it. It's probably like, it's not super trivial or anything, like, but I enjoy the process. Like you said, I'm appreciative of slowing down our summer in this new place and just enjoying the process of Lucille going through all of the things, emotions, like emotionally, physically, our house, just new people. And even with me, like I keep trying to remind myself not to rush. Like I know I want to provide income for our family, and I retired from teaching from public education. So it's like trying to like slow down that as well and just be more present with Lucille, not trying to figure out like, think about the future of like,
what's your next move? Yeah.
And it's so hard and I'm trying, and I know that once I slow down and I just kind of like am more in the moment and I'm making connections, like things are going to line up as they should. That's kind of how we ended up here. So just reminding myself of that and believing in that, but then still taking action to like make that happen. It's just a weird balance, and slowing down always helps.
It does. Yeah. And that's kind of the other thing too. We've slowed down on like trying to explore all the different wineries, cideries, breweries and stuff around here too. Like we could have easily gone to like 2 or 3 yesterday, but we chose one and did that. We've kind of done one new thing a week when it comes to like that part of our lives. But we're there's plenty of them around here. There's plenty of time, so we're not going to rush that either. We've already found a couple that we really like, and it may be beneficial for us to just go back to those since they're closer, and we like their wines or we like their beer. So like we're not going to rush on trying to hit up everything in this area too. So
it's really hard in this area.
It's really hard because you want to do everything.
You do.
Yeah.
Like you said, when we heard about like you could just hop in the river and tube, I was like in Walmart and we were in there looking for chairs, and I'm like, I could buy these tubes right now. And it's like, slow down, Jill. We're going to get there, just like one thing at a time. And especially when you're in a store and you see all the things, it's like,
yep,
we got to get out of here, Nick, now.
Let's go. Like, we did the same thing today at Lowe's. Like I'm ready to, we've got some stuff that we need to do in the garage to get, everything out from the floor. Like we need to put in some shelves. We need to get some racks on the wall to hang up some of our tools and maybe even our bikes and stuff like that. And, it was very tempting at Lowe's today to just go ahead and grab a big ass cart and throw that thing on there and bring it home. But like, I want to be thoughtful about it, want to read the reviews and, just kind of take inventory of what's actually in the garage, what's staying, and what do we need? What do we truly need?
It sounds like on a grocery shop. Like I take inventory, figure out what we need.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, it is.
It applies to everything.
It does.
Really.
It does. You do the grocery shopping, and I'm in charge of storage.
Yeah, I appreciate that because you're very good with conceptualizing and spatial awareness and just.
I got my tape measure.
Yeah. And you hanging large, heavy.
Well, then I do that other thing where I creep and peek in other people's garage and see what their ideas, what they've done, and
inspiring.
like, oh, that's good, or I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it helps what you don't want just as much as it helps what you do want.
Oh, hell
so
yeah,
I'm the same way. I love looking in people's windows, and I'm that creeper. Like I
would
love to see the layout of the house.
Yeah.
Like, what do they have? And not to have I don't have an opinion. I just like to explore what their space looks like, and just to. I'm just curious. That's all.
Yeah. Anything else there, Jill? I think we've talked a lot about what we slowed down on.
Yeah, I guess the bottom line was just unrushing this season has been really helpful. not only because we just moved, but just for my mental health as well. I feel like everything is opening back up as well. So just taking our time and not trying to immediately go back to making our schedule as busy as it was maybe last summer, the summers before. And here's another thing. It's just not comparing what you're doing with anybody else, which can be difficult sometimes on social media.
Difficult. So
even slowing down my social media use and just trying to be more purposeful as always with it. It's sometimes you can easily go down that rabbit hole of like, well, look what they're doing. Maybe we can do something like that. And I want to use it to inspire and motivate at a pace that makes sense for us instead of just to do it, just to put it on social media. So again, we're all in the same. I think all of us are kind of dealing with similar things with social media, but also the pandemic, like kind of sort of ending, and it's just a weird time. So I feel like slow and steady has been really helpful for us, and
that's what we're going to continue to do.
Being intentional with that and our time and our money, and
and that's the bottom line.
All of the above.
All right, Jilly, do you have any resources for us today?
I do.
All right.
I have a blog post.
You do have a blog post.
I do. It's 3 paragraphs I wanted to read. I followed her. I do follow her on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is called Some Days Slower, but she hasn't been on for quite some time, and I've kind of missed her. And
okay. Maybe she's taking a break.
I'm sure she is. I kind of might take up on. It's kind of inspired me to kind of take a break and get off social media for a little bit. But anyway, she wrote a blog post called A Slow Summer, and I just found 3 paragraphs that I wanted to read because I felt like it really aligned to our conversation
Not
today.
a cruel summer.
It's how does that song go?
It's a cruel, cruel summer. Mm-hmm. I'm done.
I just want to hear you sing it, babe. Okay, you ready? I just have that in my head now.
Sorry.
You're good.
So good. Bananarama or the Ace of Base version?
I think of the Ace of Base version just because that was my first CD.
Yeah, the Ace of Base version. I think I'm down with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sorry, sidetrack.
You're good. Slow living may be a bit of a statement, but for some of us, it is essential. And where I once saw missing out, now all I see is joy. Because when others are trying to outdo each other and keep up with all the busy, we are more than happy with our big little life at home. Because when I look around and put my feet on the ground, instead of feeling stuck, I feel free. Free to notice the little things that if busy, I would miss. The significance of muddy knees and berry-stained teas, I've got my biggest wish. We are learning together that finding happiness in the simple things is one of the greatest gifts by far. And I like to remind myself, when we are living slow and feeling alone, that there are many others living this way too. Because even the days that feel like we aren't doing much at all are in fact the days that we remember more.
Boom. I agree with that. That's 100% accurate. I love these slow days because it's easy to just kind of soak it all in, and it's easy to remember because you are just kind of slowing. It's this thing of slow motion. Yeah.
Anyway, that really spoke to my soul today. So
awesome.
We will put that in the show notes.
And what about your quote of the day there, Jilly?
Yes, the quote of the day is by, I'm not sure who this is, but Sarah Addison Allen. Every life needs a little space. It leaves room for good things to enter it.
Boom. Love it. And your take action challenge is?
Slow down and savor the season.
I thought you were going to say slow the fuck down.
Oh, well, that too.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to
call this? That's actually, that's a good name for an episode.
I like it.
Done.
Good stuff, Nick.
Awesome. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do this 2 ways. You can do this by sharing this episode with a friend or by writing us a review on iTunes. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action. And action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening this week. And we will see you again next week.
See y'all later.